Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say they're looking to avoid a government shutdown, with funding for the federal government set to run out on Friday. Democrats say, though, they plan to leverage this whole issue to get legislation passed to protect the so-called dreamers, people brought here illegally at a young age, like the ones you see that are protesting outside of Senator John McCain's Arizona office yesterday. So will Republicans and President Trump call their bluff? And who gets blamed if the government does shut down? Let's talk about it with radio show hosts Richard Fowler and Mary Walter here. Richard's also a Fox News contributor. Good to see both of you today.
Be here.
Okay, so Mary, I'll start with you. They are doing these sit-ins across the country. They say, listen, they don't want the funding to get done by the end of the year, and they're going to call out Democrats and Republicans to make sure they get their way.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I think really angers Americans is, here you are demonstrating and telling us how we have to run our country. That's not a way to make people sympathetic to your cause at all. A lot of people feel you have no right to be demanding anything from this country whatsoever. And I think people would like to see them be grateful and appreciative for what they have gotten so far, as opposed to demanding. So I don't know if this really helps their cause.
Well, this is what Senator Cornyn had to say about it, a Republican out of Texas.
This simply does not advance the interests of these DACA recipients to try to force us into a shutdown narrative.
All right, so what do you make of it, Richard? Is this tactic going to work?
We'll have to see. I mean, Ted Cruz is the king of government shutdowns. Remember, he shut the government down last time.
That's not what we're talking about.
For no reason in particular.
We're talking about the one that's going to happen this week. Maybe.
Fair. But here's the thing. I actually think the government won't get shut down. For the first time in a long time, 35 House Republicans have come out and said, well, 34 and one non-voting delegate have come out and said, we support DACA, we support the Dreamers. The president seems to want to support the Dreamers. Now it's on the rest of the Republican Party to say, these individuals came to this country at no fault of their own. They contribute to our society immensely. Most of them, you either have to be working, serving in our military, or in a college or university, and they are benefiting Americans, and therefore they should have the right to stay here, and we should pass this DREAM Act immediately. Remember, this was a law written by George W. Bush, and the fact that we're still debating it in 2017, when George W. Bush was president almost a decade ago.
But now what we're talking
insane.
about is DACA, which was done by executive order, which a lot of people think that President Obama said he couldn't do, and then he did. But you referenced this letter from the House GOP. 35 different members said this: DACA recipients, young people brought to America through no fault of their own, are contributing members of our communities and our economy. Reaching across the aisle to protect DACA recipients before the holidays is the right thing to do. Mary.
Well, this is another thing that people hate about the swamp is that they sit here and they say that we're going to put this on another bill. We're going to put this on the spending bill. And then instead of having a clean spending bill and a clean DACA bill so we can know how our representatives are voting, they mash it together so we don't know. And this is what people hate about the swamp, the lack of transparency. I want to know how my representative is voting on DACA, on immigration, aside from the spending bill.
That's nothing new.
That doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right.
Republicans and Democrats have been doing this for decades. So
but
let's not punish.
Right.
But let's not punish the 700,000 DACA recipients because politicians in Washington can't get their act together.
This is the only crime we reward people for committing.
All right, we got to leave it. We got to leave it there. Coming here illegally is a crime. We got to leave it there. You are not committing crimes, the two of you. We hope you'll come back.
Good to see you, Shannon.
Good to see you. Richard and Mary, thank you. Most watched, most trusted, and tonight most grateful that you spent the evening with us on Fox News at Night. Good night from Washington. I'm Shannon Bream.